Boys, girls, all my traumaholics out there, welcome back to Other Robert. I'm Joe. This is Gotham, Season 3, Episode 4, New Day Rising. And felt like kind of a filler episode, gonna be honest. Still no, unless I missed it, Ivy. What's going on? I mean, I believe it was Episode 2, I want to say. It was either 1 or 2. I said it was 2. Oh no, I think it was 1. Regardless, I love the episode where she fell in 1 and she came in 2, and older. I loved her inclusion when she was older. I thought it was very mysterious and just intriguing. Really, I couldn't wait to see what we were going to get from the character, and we really have yet to really see more from her since that episode, and it's still not here. But regardless, Penguin, his mayor campaign, I'm glad they ended that relatively quick, because I feel like that wasn't really the story. It's the end point, and we're already at the end point. So I think that's paced well. I think just kind of skip over that, because I think it was just going to be kind of filler just for them to kind of stretch it on for no reason. So I'm glad they didn't do that. I love the relationship between Penguin and Riddler. That seems to be a very interesting, dynamic relationship, and it's a ticking time bomb. With two strong personalities like that, it's not going to last. So I'm looking forward to seeing what leads to the eventual downfall of that relationship. Maybe it's Butch. We saw Butch disappointed with, to say the least, at the very end, he does not like Riddler. So it's cool to see that whole front, because I think they are some of the strongest actors on the show, and that's not bearing anyone else. I think it's just complimenting them. I think they're fantastic in their given roles. We have Bruce Wayne's clone, I guess, whatever. It's still just very uninteresting. It seemed like they were going to end it, and then they pulled it back to nope, not really. So sadly, that looks like it's going to keep continuing. I keep saying I think it's Hush. I know I sound like a broken record. I don't know. And at this point, I don't really care. I mean, I could be the only one, but it's just that story kind of lacks something. And until we get something more kind of thrown in, and I don't think Court of Owls is really going to do it, it's just going to kind of stay that way. But regardless, Jim continues to be a very, very interesting point in this season. We're watching our protagonist at a very, very low point, to the point where Mad Hatter basically was kind of pushing Jim. In a way, Jim wanted to kill himself, and that's very, very dark for a show like this. But I mean, Gotham, very visually dark. Batman itself, at times, very dark subject matter, can be. So even though this isn't Batman, it's Gotham. It's a story before Batman. Seeing Jim at this point, I think he hit rock bottom, though. I think he'll start to come up. I think it'll eventually end with him getting his job back at the station. I think that'll help him. But I love the story they're telling. Like I said, they can go a while without having Jim back at the station, and I hope we get a couple more episodes out of it, because I love just the focus on him. Barnes, that seems like it's going to be going somewhere. Barnes is always a character in the show that you kind of want more from, but now it looks like we're actually going to get more. I never saw this coming, where he was going to be turned into a monster, because the blood went on him at the end. It looked like he was turning him into a monster, or a different kind of thing. I could have seen him maybe becoming a character that we know from the Batman universe. I just wasn't sure who. A more dynamic character, and wasn't sure who, but I don't know. I'm still kind of curious to see where they go with Barnes now, and I think this really piqued some intrigue here. I think this is going to be a really interesting story to see develop. And Mad Hatter. I mean, we saw a Mad Tea Party, right? We saw Alice and Mad Hatter and the Tweedles. It was a cool scene. It was a very cool scene, and Benedict Samuel, I believe his name is, continues to be an absolute delight as a Mad Hatter. Fantastic, really. The acting is never an issue on the show. I mean, everyone always does great, and I think especially with what his character went through towards the end here, I think the writing for the character's been great, and I think will continue to be great because we saw him introduced where he was looking for a sister, and it was a completely different mindset than he will be going forward. And I think he's the right guy to do it. I think it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes from here. And really, he's had a calm kind of intensity to him, and I'm curious to see if that calm intensity continues, or if he becomes more explosive because of what happened. And it seems like he's going to be taking it out on Jim especially. So Mad Hatter is something to look out for, definitely. And I keep saying I'm looking for the show stealer, right? The show stealer of the season. I thought Penguin stole the show in season 1. Penguin's always great, and Riddler's always great, but I thought he's kind of stole the show in season 2. I'm looking for the character that really just the dark horse that kind of just steals the show in 3, and maybe it's Mad Hatter. I think he's done great so far. I think all around everyone's done great so far. But interesting episode, kind of fillerish, wasn't anything too major. It was just kind of seeing Jim hit rock bottom, and we'll see where he goes from here. And hopefully we'll see Poison Ivy next week. I don't believe I saw her in the teaser, but I don't know. Alright, well that's it for me, but now it's time for you guys. Comment down below, let's talk about this, let's have a discussion. What do you think so far of Season 3 of Gotham, and what do you think of Mad City, New Day Rising? The longest titles for episodes ever. Alright guys, well, subscribe because it takes around that much effort to do so. Until next time, you have been traumatized.